Welcome back to the Inspired Magazine podcast. Today, I'm looking forward to an inspiring conversation with Yashika Anang, who is the founder of Hair Affair. Her journey into the creation of an all-natural, transformative hair solution began in a moment of personal vulnerability when she was battling postpartum hair loss, a challenge that she never expected to face after welcoming her second child. There was obviously a lot to unpack in the story, and that's what I'm really looking forward to. But I wanted to say hello to Yashika first, and yeah, introduce yourself. Maybe give us a little roundup on who you are.
Yes, so hi everybody. My name is Yashika Anang. I am the founder and owner of Hair Fair Stimulating Growth Oil, where we're improving and strengthening your hair for any affair. And we do that with clean and all natural ingredients that actually work. And so I am a mother of two beautiful daughters, and I am happily married to my best friend.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So tell us a little bit about your background. You just mentioned you're a mom, but where was your like professional background, anything related to what you're doing now, or were you just like, let's fall into this, let's see where this goes?
Not at all. So my background is in social services. Prior to becoming an entrepreneur, I worked in social services through several different roles. But my most recent was an education coach. I worked with youth that were in the foster care system, and I assisted them with all things education, whether it be understanding the FAFSA process, applying to college, career goals, whether they wanted to go, like a different route, not like a university route, but maybe they want to do trade school or whatever their educational and career goals were. I assisted with that. I was also a licensed foster care case manager. So I went into court advocating for the child's best interest. I've even had to physically remove children from placement and find additional placement for them. Yeah, so my background is in social services because I genuinely have a passion for helping people. And so when the situation happened with me becoming an entrepreneur, it was completely by accident. Like I had no aspirations to own a business whatsoever.
Okay, okay. So I can imagine that, it's obviously very important work that you do or that you did. I don't know, are you still
Thank
doing
you.
that?
No, no, I'm not.
No, okay, okay. But I think that it prepares you like mentally probably, for all the challenges that will come up as an entrepreneur, right? I'm telling about being, resistant, not giving up that fast, dealing with like difficult situations,
Absolutely.
trust management and all these things. Um, what was that thing that, stuck with you the most from that time, where you would definitely say, okay, I can till this day I can benefit from that and I'm not, letting it go if it gets a little bit more difficult.
What do you mean specifically?
So like mentally when you have to have like a very mental strength when you run a business, right? So is there like any like um habits you have, for example, like a lot of people use like those use affirmations, for example, to
Oh, yes,
pick themselves
absolutely.
up or something like that, or like in stressful situations to not lose, you know, the overview or still stick to the plan.
Yes, thank you for clarifying that. So yeah, for me, I've always been like a glass half full type of person. Like my perspective has always been a positive approach to things.
Hmm.
So I try to take a step back when I feel like I'm in a overwhelming situation and things are getting too stressful. I prioritize my self-care and mental health by meditation. I go to yoga regularly. I work out regularly. Sometimes I'll go for walks. I'm here in Texas, so it's always sunny and beautiful. So I'll go for a walk around the neighborhood if I need to, just to de-stress. And I journal as well, and that's
Yeah.
extremely helpful.
Yeah, yeah. I do that too. Journaling is a lifesaver for me. Like the morning brain dump thing that's kind of like for me,
Yes,
it clears everything. So
absolutely.
walk us a little bit about to that or through that time when you developed your first product. You said this was kind of by accident, right? So as I
Absolutely.
mentioned in the intro real quick, the initial time was like the postpartum phase of your pregnancy.
Correct.
Tell us about that and how you like created the first product.
So what happened was my edges started to thin really bad, and then it went from thinning to just like balding. That was something extremely new because I had a daughter. Although it's a bit of an age gap. I'm like, this is just weird. Like, why is my hair falling out? So I did some research and found out about this thing called postpartum hair loss. And I'm like, oh, so this is a thing.
Mm,
I had never really, heard about it, never experienced it, didn't really know anybody personally that experienced it. Well, they hadn't shared at that time, at least. So I did research and initially started taking hair vitamins.
mhm,
And so when I was taking the hair vitamins, I did not notice any growth. But what I did notice is that it started to break my face out really bad. I developed, severe acne from it. And so I stopped taking those immediately. And I'm like, okay, now I have like another problem. So now I have to find an esthetician on top of my hair thinning and falling out. So I just did more, research, went to YouTube University, and I found out about these all natural oils that you can use, and then you can use in combination with one another to kind of formulate a powerful formula.
mhm,
And so I had no intention on like making it a business or anything. I was just trying to fulfill a personal need. And
mhm.
so I created a formula that worked. I used it myself, and it worked really well. And at the time, my daughter had a hairstyle. She was trying to cut the braids out, and she cut her hair out by accident.
Oh
So
no.
we used it on her as well. And then my husband also used it, and he's like, you have something here. And he's like, you did a really good job with this. Like, my little patch I had is actually growing in, and I'm noticing your hair growing in, and it's growing in fast. So my husband was actually the one that kind of pushed for me to like start a business and share this product with others. He does have his MBA, so he went to school for business. And at first I was just like, nah. But he kind of, convinced me and did the research. He paid for me to legally structure my business, gave me my first investment, and the rest
Wow.
is history.
Talking about having a best friend on your side, right?
Yes,
I love stories where the husband is really so supportive and almost has to, you just said yourself,
convinced.
convince you, like, you should really do this. You have something here. Um, Did you have any, or did you know anyone who could mentor you along this way a little bit? I mean, entrepreneurship is, you know, in the beginning, there's like, oh my God, this sounds great, having my own business, like to having like doing anything on everything on my own terms. But then you look into it's like, oh my effing God, like what, how? I mean, did you have
Seriously.
any, did you have any mentorship, or did you look up to someone, or did you get someone in? It's like, okay, can you please help me here?
No, I had no idea what I was doing. I was just winging it, just doing tons and tons and tons of research. I just used my close family and friends as like case studies, hey, I want you guys to try this product that I've been using because I had used it for a while before, just jumping into starting a business. But
Mhm.
no, I didn't have really anybody. My husband would help because he had knowledge from school and
Mhm.
different industries that he worked in. But other than that, I really did not have anyone initially to kind of lean on when I first started my business.
Yeah, that's amazing. So how did you set this up? How can we imagine? Like, are you like kind of brewing in your little kitchen all these things together, or I don't know, is there any licenses you have to get to be, I don't know, is that something that has to be like FDA approved or something like that?
So yeah, I've just been honestly just doing it in my kitchen. That's how I started.
Mhm.
I did like all of the research on like setting up the legality part first because I wanted to make sure that that portion was taken care of. So I just looked up the steps. At the time, I'm originally from Chicago, Illinois. So I just looked up the steps to what does it take to legally structure a business and start a business in Illinois. And so it was a pretty straightforward process. So I literally just went from there and was
Filled out
winging it
some
in my
forms
kitchen.
and went on it.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's so cool. So I can imagine like so you the first the first batch, let's call it a batch, right? You did for yourself and you for your friends and family, right? You get the feedback and everything. But then once you start a business concept, you have to think about mass production, right? So how far did you go out? Like how many did you create a stock or did you create like how fast is it even possible to create your oil? Is that something that, you know, takes you 2 days to create a batch or takes you 2 weeks because there is something specific you have to do? How was that first process in creating product for the masses for your customers?
So I initially used the first formula that I created, I used on my family and friends to get their feedback. And then the more that I continue to research, I'm like, okay, this one is actually not all the way natural. It has like some synthetic, like a synthetic blend. So I, from the beginning, wanted to make sure that I created it 100% all natural product, right? So I was like, okay, this is the first batch. Let me kind of go back to the drawing board, start again, give you guys this formula and get feedback. But it doesn't for like a full batch, it takes several hours. It's not something that needs to like brew for like weeks at a time. It
Mhm.
just takes like it is like a tedious process. So it does take several hours, especially from formulation, because you want to make sure you sanitize everything, and then the formulation part, and then I have to bottle everything, and that can take quite some time.
Yeah, yeah. And so how did you get the word out? Obviously, you had friends and family on your side who were spreading the word. But when was the time you got, like, for example, your first website? Did you or did you go via Shopify or something?
You know what? I feel like everything was in divine timing, because when my husband was like, you need to make this a business, I still stayed at my job just out of fear. And I prayed and I asked God to send me a sign. And I kid you not, like I ended up getting on social media the next day. And I saw someone had shared something on Facebook, and it said something along the lines of, go ahead and quit your job. You know, God will help you figure out the rest.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, okay. And then I will constantly keep seeing things like that, right? So I feel like everything honestly just happened in alignment. I made the decision to, leave my job. Once I left my job, I put it out there to everybody. Hey, I'm going to start, I started a business. I shared my website, and to answer your question, I initially started on GoDaddy. So
Mm-hmm.
I had this professional website. I sent it to a friend just to kind of, look at for me to get like a, extra set of eyes, tell me what she thought. And she was my first customer. I was not trying to like sell her anything, but she's like, oh my God, I'm so proud of you. So my friend Devin was my very first customer. It was $18. I still have the screenshot. And so that was like pre-launch. And then from there, oh, and I didn't mention this. So to back up a little bit, I was taking a social media break at the time when I first started my business. And so I get on social media, I see the sign, God says to quit your job. I'm constantly seeing these signs. And then one of my husband's friends tagged me in a post where a celebrity was looking for Black owned business owners that had hair growth products.
Mm-hmm.
Coincidence, right?
What a
So
coincidence.
what a crazy coincidence, right? So I was like, oh my goodness. I responded to the guy. I sent him a message in his DM. Hey, my name is Yashika. This is the name of my company. I would love to assist you in helping you grow your hair back. He never said anything. So I went on about my business. And then I sent another message saying, hey, I know you're probably getting tons of messages, but I'm, confident that my product will help you. So fast forward, this celebrity, he ended up messaging me back saying that I was one of the businesses that he wanted to promote on Instagram. And
Wow.
this was the same day, September 10th, 2020. I will never forget it. It was the same day that I had just submitted my resignation, that I was leaving my job. And he let me know that he was going to promote my company, right? So I get on, fast forward, I get on a Instagram live with him. I had no idea he was going to select me to interview me. So he interviewed me. I had tons of family and friends that were tuning in, and they did a screen recording. I took that, created content on it, and it went viral on like social media. I ended up getting over 200 orders in one day. And this is like when I first launched. So when I say everything happened in perfect alignment, I'm so serious. Everything was just already lined up for me. It just was waiting on me to take the leap.
That is so cool. Such a cool story. Are you willing to share which celebrity that was?
Yes, so his name is Chico Bean. He is a comedian. He was one of the comedians on MTV's Wild 'N Out with Nick Cannon.
Okay.
So yeah, it was a crazy moment. Like even still looking back.
That is so cool. And I bet it's a big confidence boost for yourself, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, it's a lot to launch something like that, and then as someone who has no experience, and then it just kind of like gives you, as you said, a confirmation, like, okay, this is the right thing, the universe is taking care of me, or God, whoever you
Absolutely.
believe in. But it's so how did it keep going? Like, was it like a steady rate, or tell
It
us
was
about this year?
Yeah, so it was definitely a steady rate. What happened specifically, my oldest daughter was like, Mom, you should get on TikTok. Mind you, I had just come off of a hiatus. I was not trying to learn another social media platform. And I was just like, no. And she kept telling me, Mom, I'm so serious. You have to get on Instagram. I'm sorry, TikTok. And that was the first post that I posted was my screen recording of me and him doing our Instagram live. And the orders were coming, like I posted it, forgot about it, went to sleep, woke up, my phone was going crazy. I'm like, did somebody share my post? Like, what is going on? And so the growth just continued. It continued and it just started to blow my mind. Like all of these different opportunities that just consistently came my way, just fell into my lap. I did take a bit of a hiatus from the business, probably like a year and a half, because like I mentioned, my family and I relocated from our hometown to Texas. And so that was a transition, learning this new place, being a girl from the Midwest, city girl from the Midwest, coming to the South. It was a complete culture shock.
Yeah.
And so I made a decision to take a bit of a hiatus. And then, so now I'm back running the business full time and opportunities are coming back again. So,
Wow, that is so cool. I mean, you can see it already, or I can see it when I'm talking to you. Like your face just like lights up when you talk. Like, you can see with the passion when a person has for doing something like that. So when Okay, that's like you said the first year wasn't steady. Customers came in. Did you have at this point like plans about like expanding the whole business? Because so you have the hair oil, but
Mhm.
also you have a beard oil
Correct.
for men, right? So
Yes.
do you have any plans of like even creating more products, or how did the beard oil came into the picture?
I just was trying to, I didn't want to leave anyone out. And because my brand story is based on an issue that women suffer with, I didn't want the men to think that just because that's what it was specifically created for, that it's not for them as well.
Mm.
So I was constantly, trying to frame my content around, it's a unisex product, right? But I'm like, okay, let me figure out a different way that I can kind of reel the men in. And so I decided to do the beard oil because my husband was also using the growth oil on his beard. And he's like, you should, look into formulating the beard oil as well, because that, you can bring in more male customers.
Yeah.
So that's where that came from. And yes, I do have plans on expanding my product line. I want to offer like a kids line, specifically for kids. I want to have like an entire beard line with like a beard wash, beard pomade, and I have other ideas and stuff as well that I'm cooking up.
Wow, wow. So yeah, well, you're staying busy. Yeah, you're not getting bored anytime soon. So is you when you say it's unisex, is it also for different hair types? I mean,
Yes.
Black people have obviously different hair types than me, for example. So everyone can use it no matter the hair type.
Correct. Yes, ma'am. It is unisex. It is for all hair texture and types. It's not specifically catering to one demographic
Okay.
because all of the products are 100% natural. So, I didn't like specifically curate it for like one specific hair type.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. So tell us about where you sell them. You said you obviously have your website.
Correct.
Are you like on any retail stores, or is that one of your plans too?
That is one of my plans. And this is actually, you get an insider. This is my first time sharing this publicly, but I was just recently accepted into the Retail Readiness Training Program powered by Watson and funded through Walmart.
Cool.
And so I am currently doing that now. I just started last week. And so they are holding my hand and helping Hair Fair get retail ready. And so through that program, I will get like certifications that is needed to be more attractive to buyers. Then they're also going to put me in front of the buyers and I'll get an opportunity to pitch to Walmart to, prayerfully get my products on shelves. So we'll see how that goes.
So exciting. That's so
Thank
cool. What would
you.
be like the dream retail store for you to see your product in?
Oh my goodness. Ulta, Sephora, Macy's. Yes, but definitely Ulta and Sephora. I've been trying to get in the Sephora and Ulta program as well. I have not been accepted, unfortunately, but delayed does not mean denied. I'm going to keep trying
Yeah.
until they accept me.
Yeah, yeah, just keep bothering them. You
Absolutely.
really need me in there.
Yes, yes.
That is so cool. I love that. So, when you think about, the journey you have come, if you went so far, is it like you how imagined it will be, coming in like with no clue what this will be? Okay, we're selling some oil, we know that, but we have no idea how this could end up. Like, did you have, yeah, go ahead.
To be completely honest, like, oh, it could all of the opportunities that has come my way, that I've been able to attract, it still blows my mind. I still have things that I can't really speak about now that I'm working on, and I'm just like, oh my goodness.
Hmm.
No, I mean, I had no idea that it will continue to grow to be what it is today. And my husband honestly had to get me in the right mindset because I was teetering a little bit. I'm like, I love what I do. I have a passion for helping others. And I called my clients my babies when I was in social services. And he's like, honestly, you can still help people through, being a
A
business
different
owner.
way, yeah.
Exactly. And so once, he got me to kind of like view it differently, that's what really changed everything for me.
Hmm. Did you have any moments where shit hit the fan? Where
Absolutely.
you really were like, oh, what am I doing here? Like where you actually went into the state of like doubting everything?
Yes. I have those moments consistently,
Every
consistently. No, seriously, I could tell you about a specific time,
Yes.
about a year and a half, 2 years ago. It got to a point, as I mentioned, just with the move, and with my youngest daughter having some struggles with the move, and just life in general, a lot of personal things that was going on in my life.
Mhm.
I was not able to really run the business like I want to and like I'm used to doing, because I'm a professional, and I like to run my business a certain way. So when I felt that it was getting to a space where I was not able to cater to my business like I wanted to, I was just thinking maybe it's time for me to kind of pivot and take a step back. I was like, maybe I need to do something different. And so I just had a come to Jesus moment and I prayed and prayed. I was seriously considering just stepping away and just, just making the post, the announcement saying, hey, I'm gonna, we thank you guys for all the support up to this point, but it is too stressful. It is too, overwhelming. It got to a point where I was not able to sleep. Migraines were like crazy. So I just prayed and I just asked God to send me a sign, but a specific, recognizable sign to
Mhm.
let me know whether or not I needed to close up shop or keep going. And
Mhm.
the very next day, I received an email from Goldman Sachs letting me know that I was accepted into their 1 million Black women Black in business program. So
Great.
I said, okay, I think that that's a sign. I'll take it as a
I'm
sign.
gonna take that. That no, I love this to talk about this topic because you know we all know that this roller coaster at some point you have the best moments like with the celebrity like you had or like getting big orders in, but sooner or later you will hit that stage where
Burnout.
kind of like, I don't know if you can say like the uh how do you say that when you now I forgot the word. I'm spacing on the word. The imposter syndrome. Right? When you think like, okay, everyone is better than me, like what I mean, what do I know, right?
Mhm.
And I've been personally a lot of times in front of that or at that situation where I'm like, I have no fucking clue what I'm doing here.
None at all.
And it
What
depends.
am I doing?
Yeah, what am I doing here? And then, I think what helped me a lot was just to put it down for like, in my case, like a week or two. And I was really thinking like, maybe this is not it. Maybe at some point I just have to let it go. But every time when I let it go, it always came back, right?
Same
Um,
here.
so I'm like, if I can't get my hands off of this, this has to mean something. I mean,
Hmm.
I'm doing this now, the whole magazine thing for like almost 15 years. And,
Wow.
I always thought like, okay, my goal is I want to be the Anna Wintour, not because we're the fashion magazine, but I want to have my magazine should have that standing and credibility. But,
Yes.
what I spaced for a long time is like, I don't have a team of 30 people who are creating 3 months for a new issue. I'm a one-woman
Mhm.
show and I'm doing the best I
Exactly.
can, and that has to be enough for right now. So taking the pressure off of myself on, creating big batch products or I heard a couple small business owners saying like, yeah, they were approached by big retailers, but they were asking them to make the product cheaper because they said, okay, your product is too expensive, we can't sell that.
Oh, wow.
And then, she was like, well, this is my product. Like this is what you like, right? And that's
Yeah.
why you came to me in the first place. And then, well, but you could just use different ingredients and then, have the, pricing. I was like, well, but then it's not my product anymore.
Exactly.
So
Right.
I think this is and it's difficult that they're putting us even into that position that we have to compromise the quality
Mhm.
or our mental stability
Yeah.
and to be able to play with the big players, right? Obviously, that's
Yeah.
something that we want. We want to grow, we want to expand, we want this to be super successful, but this is a big learning curve every founder has to deal with at some point. And then
Absolutely.
to come back to the point, when do you give up? Do you even give
Hmm.
up, or do you just let it rest for 1 or 2 weeks and everything will be fine, right?
Yeah.
So I love to hear from you that you were a couple of times there, but it always came back. I
It
just love
always
that.
came back. It always came back. I actually just had a moment last year with my husband where I was just like, you know what? I think I'm ready to hang it up. And he was like, no, like you've come too far. He's like, now at this point, I'm not allowing you to do that. He even started putting funds to the side to like make quarterly investments. He's like, no, you're not going anywhere. Like, no, we're in this for the long run. He's like, when it runs its course, it runs its course, but now is not the time. So
Yeah,
yeah, I've had those moments a lot.
that is so cool. I mean, super supportive. I love that. Is he included
Thank
in the
you.
business as well, or is he just like not just like is he the mentor in the back pushing you?
He's on my advisory board and he's like our beard model, but he doesn't have like an official title just yet, but it's in the works.
Mm.
It's
I
definitely in
think
the
that's what they say about husbands. They have a position they never applied for, right?
Yep.
But they also cannot get out of it, so they can never.
Exactly. No, you're stuck.
Unless you're divorcing me, you're in this with me.
Exactly.
That is so cool. Well, I could ask you a million more questions, Yashika. I think your story is very cool, and I love your
Yeah.
vibe. I love your products. And
Thank
for our
you.
readers and listeners, we will have the products in our shop available to purchase. We will have the beard oil and we will have the hair growth oil.
Okay.
And yeah, maybe give us just a little roundup where we can find you. Where can we learn more about your brand? Where we can maybe get in touch with you if you have any questions.
Yeah, so you guys could find us on Facebook and Instagram at Hair Affair Stimulating Growth Oil. We're also on TikTok at Hair Affair Growth Oil. You can also reach us via email at support@hairaffairgrowthoil.com.
Awesome. Cool. Well, that's where we will go. I'm looking forward to staying in touch with you. I'm following your journey.
Yes.
I love your vibe. I love even you're totally in a different industry, but I think there is like a common ground every founder has. And if I see someone so driven with like a, cool sidekick like your husband, I will benefit from that from afar, right? I will just like see, okay, That is so cool. I love to see that.
Thank you. Thank you so much,
Okay,
Doris.
Yashika, it was a pleasure talking to you. And I'm very, very excited to share this with my audience and hope to stay in touch, of course.
Oh, absolutely. We're like besties now. You can't get rid of me, Doris. So, yeah, we're going to stay in touch. And thank you so much. I just wanted to take a moment to give you your flowers, to just let you know how impactful the work is that you're doing. I thank you so much for helping me share my story and using your platform to do that. I am truly honored. So, I just wanted to again tell you thank you so much for that. I appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you so much. Oh my God, that makes my day.
You're welcome. And I look forward to keeping in touch.
Yeah, definitely. Well, have a good day,
You
and
as well.
we will see you guys in the next episode.
All righty. Thank you. Have a good one. Bye bye.
Bye.